Hello, it's Kim. As you can see, it is completely dark, right? Uh, daylight savings time. It's actually probably my most dreaded time of the year, and definitely the worst week of the year for me. Like in what happens, but on how I feel. I'm usually tired, usually more than a little cranky, and a lot of stuff has been happening. This is quick update, and also probably maybe a little trigger, okay, for some of you, about COVID and death, okay? So the 8th was my cousin Jamie's like I don't know, anniversary of her death from COVID. So it's a very tough, time for the family. Um Specifically, I tend to hold my grief back and I help like the immediate family, my aunt. My uncle doesn't really let me help him. But that sort of thing, right? Okay. So got that going on. Had intense joy. I met my companion. I don't usually say his name like publicly. Um, B. His family, which was lovely. 21 years in the making. And when I had my launch, he finally met mine. So it is one of those weird things where like you're like, huh, all the cards are on the table, and yet things are still falling. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a few days because I think he's like recovering of like, oh my God. And then if I look weird with my tooth, I'm not wearing lipstick. Usually I do for these. I had dental surgery, got an implant. It doesn't hurt, so please don't like think it is. But if you see my tongue and doing weird stuff, it's because of the stitches. I'm really bad about like working stitches. So please ignore it. I'm so sorry if you see it. And I just came from a party. So what's the last thing? I did accept, I guess you could say, a position. Honestly, I don't even know if it's paid. Um I don't think it really is, but it's a lot of work, but it'll be okay. I keep telling myself it'll be okay. With the Poetry Witch, it's the Poetry Witch Mighty Networks. TNL used to be part of the Mighty Networks, and we moved to Facebook because Mighty Networks is awful. In terms of, I should qualify, in terms of like how we wanted to structure it. Well, I am now working with Mighty Networks again because I do know that the system for the most part. So I'm helping with that aspect. I'm not doing meter. I'm not, one of the, I'm not good at meter. I'm learning meter. There's a difference, right? So, I was told that that would make me perfect for the position of spiral keeper because basically I'm just like, I suck too, and let's do this. In that really enthusiastic, still getting contacted at 2 a.m. in the morning sort of way. So it's been interesting. I think it'll like, how like things like settle down, you're in routine. All that will come. Just like sort of like here did, right? It took me a while, and Dalva a while to like get sort of into the Facebook groove. Same thing. I'm just trying to figure out balance. I'm going to Sleepy Hollow late next Friday night. I am having class still on Sunday. Um, Dealing with history, which is what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of like preliminary like blog work. Somehow this book is coming out either by self-publishing or everything else. One sort of like I guess you could say fell through or there was a misunderstanding one book deal. And so I've been like picking up the pieces because I had all of the networking done for it. So like the launch, the everything was in the works. Is in the works. So it's coming out near Halloween next year, one way or another. And we are holding our fingers that it is through like a non-self-published way. All right, and I swear, I believe that's it as my nose runs. All right, so today we have two decks I have not used for a while. We have this for a long while. Okay, it's a Jane Austen tarot deck. Like I sort of root around and I try to figure out which one feels right. I don't even look at them. It's actual like touch and everything. I'm like, yeah, this is it. The other one is a journey. I use this more, um, but it's been a while, and I used it sort of like as a overall clarifying card. Okay, so we're gonna start with it because I think it works. Okay. So this is a page of cups, and we actually have a lot of cups. So that means a lot of emotion, a lot of waters. These are these are the days of water, yes. Sometimes I wish we had a little bit more mind going on. Um, Emotions can not necessarily lead us astray because I'm a Pisces. I'm like all about emotion and like how it can lead us to conquering the world in like a good way. And I see right now trying to conquer the world with our feelings in bad ways. So, like, okay, so this is creative opportunities, which I want to put out there that this could be like the overall thing is creative. Or if you have a love question, it gets answered. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. All right. So there is, you know, creative opportunities. Go grab them. Okay. I don't believe in getting rid of opportunities. You can always stop them. I'm really bad at stopping them. So please don't follow my example. I just add to my load. I don't actually like subtract from it. I go, sure, I can do that. I do it, but then I get no sleep. Good thing I don't need as much sleep as the average human. I run manic. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so creative opportunities. So that's kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, yeah. That means we have to be creative, yes? So like just remember that you need like the energy either for the week, I should say it. I am filming this 11/12/2023, so it would be the week of. Or if you're writing this at a different time, please. Okay? If it resonates, it resonates. We find things at weird times in our lives, of when we need stuff. Now, the Jane Austen uses the more traditional, I guess you would say, how it used to be, where you have the hearts, the diamonds, the clubs, and the spades. She has like one of the uh, they would say original tarot decks, and I say a precursor. Okay, it's not 100%. Okay, so if you follow lore, because some of it you have to, even though it is in written record, you sometimes have to be like, tarot came from Egypt and went through Italy, all this sort of stuff, right? So this is probably more the Italian, sort of European version, but probably also, I would say very, very roughly, there'd be like sets that would come to the United States, probably when it was not called the United States, okay? All right, the colonies, definitely. Okay. So, so think about that. Okay. So they use this for Jane Austen, of course, because it's like, oh, it's old fashioned. But also, just remember that yes, you see your cups, and we're talking about cups and emotions, but we're talking about hearts as well. There's an added layer, especially to this reading. Okay. Now, I usually don't do love readings, at least not here. Like pay me, I'll do a love reading, sure, right? But it's not like and we do a collective. We don't really do like a one-on-one. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I know something that you don't, you know, pick an answer. But like, okay. So we have the Seven of Cups here. And usually it's a little bit of like I would say a little bit of heartbreak, a little bit of longing. 10 is always completions. So I find sevens to be not quite melancholy, but like that angsty, sort of feeling. Yeah, that's me using my words. Don't you love it? So they are saying the Seven of Hearts is choice. There are many teacups to choose from, but you cannot daydream forever and avoid making a decision. Now, that can deal with relationships, especially with emotions. You can choose to have different emotions. Figured it out yet, but you can. I'm told. Told. Um, if we're talking about creative opportunities, like the first card that I pulled, well, this, if you count teacups, this is not even all of Kim's projects on her shelf, So pick one and go with it. Could just be pick one, just finish. Could also be a method, okay? And a message. All right. So just bear in mind, just yeah. Okay. You never know. You never know. All right. The next was the Ten of Diamonds. And do I really know how these equate? No. Should I? Probably. I should probably know what are swords and what are everything else. And no, sorry, man. I know the cup is a cup. Uh, yeah. Even this is a cup, which is funny. It's a teapot with flowers. Um, so who knows what it is, right? It's the Ten of Diamonds, accomplishment, the fruit of labor in a family garden. Is a beautiful bouquet. Sit back and enjoy. Now, again, tens are completion, right? So I believe this is probably the wands. So it's like a manifestation, right? So even if it's a want, it's a manifestation, all right? A completion of it. Something happens. You finish what your damn 7 cups, right? At least one of the cups you finish. And this is the cup that is overflowing with abundance. All right. So there you have it. We still have cups, even when we're not talking about cups and hearts. All right. If you had a question about a love connection, this is your answer. Now, I'm holding it inverted and it wasn't. Sorry. My apologies. This is the Two of Cups. Usually, it is considered the soulmate card. Okay. A lot of times in love readings, it's like soulmate or twin flame or major love interest, or I mean, like that's in love readings, right? That's why I say if you have a question, this I totally don't. Sorry. So, totally go for it. All right. So it's confirmation at least. Like if you don't know the other person's feelings, I wouldn't like just like massively like jump on them. But okay, so it's possible. Now theirs is definitely not it's not Darcy or anything, right? It's the Two of Hearts, temperance, moderation. An elaborate dinner party consists of many dishes for each course, but restraint is the key to contentment. So if it is not, let's say it's not leverage. Let's say it's about creativity and we're still working with those cups. Okay. So don't do all 7 at once. You'll probably get sick. That's sort of like how, and or you want to dabble at each of those 7, right? Just a little bit. Oh, I'd like that side. I'd like that side. A little bit of the salad, a little bit of the drink. Okay. Um, eat the cake. If it's in reality and you actually have a dinner party, please eat your cake, okay? It makes me so sad when everyone like has all this salad on one side and they're all like looking sad, and you see all this cake and stuff on the other side and no one's eating it. And they'd be so much happier. This is me too. I don't do it. I have social anxiety eating. But I'm just like, oh, just eat your cake and be happy. So eat your cake and be happy, but just don't get yourself sick. There you go. Kim's not advice because you shouldn't follow her food advice ever. True story. Facebook totally contacted me, just so you know. If you um get concerned with someone for a multitude of reasons, I'm sure. I'm sure it's like mental health, everything else. Somehow I was turned into Facebook. It is not a scam. And like somebody else said, like, oh, it's a bot. And maybe it's a bot that tells them. But it totally told me that one of my Facebook friends was concerned with my eating disorder, and they gave me a list of different links all around the world that I can contact. It was so invasive and impersonal. And I can only imagine that if somebody got that who was having a true mental health crisis, I mean, um, like big, that it would really hurt and they would not get the help they needed, and it'd make it worse. So anyway, that's my public service announcement at the very middle of this whole reading is, hey now, tell people in face to face, or as close as you can, or at least don't just like say, hey, I'm worried about them to some random place. So it was I wrote a book about eating disorders, right? So yes, don't take my advice because it may or may not be right for you. I do what is necessary for myself. So I mean like how can Facebook be like, oh my gosh. So this is to say, I just mentioned my eating disorder like 3 times, right? So if you have concerns about me, just tell me to my face and I'll say thank you very much. This is what I'm doing. Okay. So, and I hope you do that for everyone. Like that's my mental health minute or whatever. Cause like I'm talking about cake and like my journey through eating disorders and it is my book, and I'm just like I've been having to like say a lot, about personal stuff with my book. I'm just like, hey, yeah, yes, I understand. It's important. Thank you. It's personal. Okay. This is the Ace of Diamonds. It was what the I thought I was drawing last. All right. There's been several. Like I didn't think I was drawing the Two of Hearts or Two of Cups or whatever you want to call it. I didn't think I was going to draw it. Because I was called to it. It's like, okay, I'll draw one more. Ace of Diamonds. I thought this was the end of a reading. Okay. The world. The end. Right? Perfection, the world, end of creative journey, brilliance. Now they call it completion, which makes sense, right? Sort of. Like I said, tens are really completion. And really, if you wanted to consider mastery as completion, that would be like the emperors or the kings or whatever each deck calls them. One deserves a bouquet when a demanding endeavor has come full circle to success. So there's so many success cards. I would call it nauseating, except that I mean it's really great, right? And like I say nauseating, so I'm like a total goth. Still, right? If you really see what I really want to wear and not what my mother makes me wear, because she buys my clothes. Yes. Um, then hey now. I'm a total goth, so I will say like off things, and everyone like, "We're so happy," and I'm like, "Yes." I'm a little bit more Tisha Adams. All right. Now after the world, I was like, "Boo, boo, 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 boo." Felt I had to pick another, and it is the sun, and it says, it is the pure, pure. I said I'm even uh, club. Thank you. Thank you, whoever just like yelled it at me. Um, it's a nine of clubs, the sun. And it says, it is well to have as many holds upon happiness as possible. So if you want to think about it as creative pursuits, touch all the cups, do everything in moderation, over time, take the next year, take the next month, do everything and get the world. It says, in the rainy England of Northanger Abbey, sunshine heralds clarity and calm. And that is a positivity. So, with that, I leave you. I'm going to read it again. It is well to have as many holds upon happiness as possible. May you have many holds of happiness. I mean, like, how much better can it be? Have a wonderful week. See you next time. So it is.